Well, welcome back to Unlocking Organizational Behavior. I'm your host, Dr. Obi Paul Byram, and today we're tackling a topic we all encounter but often struggle to handle: conflict and negotiation. Have you ever been in a meeting where tensions were so high you could feel it in the air? Or maybe you've witnessed a negotiation that seemed headed for disaster, but somehow turned into a breakthrough moment. Conflict and negotiation are inevitable in any workplace, but they don't have to be negative. When handled effectively, they can lead to innovation, better decision-making, and stronger relationships. Today, we'll uncover how to manage conflict constructively and negotiate like a pro. So let's dive in. Let's start by understanding the two sides of conflict: functional and dysfunctional. Functional conflict is productive. It encourages healthy debate, sparks creativity, and leads to better decisions. For instance, imagine two designers debating the best approach for a marketing campaign. Their differing perspectives might seem tense at first, but it could lead to a solution that neither would have developed alone. Now, on the flip side, dysfunctional conflict is destructive. It stems from miscommunication, personal grudges, or unproductive behaviors. Picture two employees refusing to collaborate after a misunderstanding. Instead of focusing on their goals, the entire team suffers. Here's something to think about. Recall a conflict that you witnessed. Was it functional or dysfunctional? How did it impact the team and the final outcome? You see, conflict doesn't just happen. It's triggered by structural and personal factors. Structural factors might include shared resources, interdependence, or different goals. For example, when marketing and operation departments clash over deadlines, it's often because their priorities don't align. Personal factors like personality differences or values can also cause friction. Think about a team where one member thrives on autonomy while another prefers constant collaboration. It's easy to see how miscommunication can arise. Understanding these root causes is the first step in managing conflict effectively. Now, conflict can occur at multiple levels. Interorganizational conflict happens between companies, such as two rivals competing for the same client. Intergroup conflict occurs between teams, like sales and production clashing over timelines. Intragroup conflict is within a single team, often fueled by uncleared roles or personality clashes. At the individual level, we see conflicts like inter-role conflict, where work and family responsibilities collide. Intra-role conflict, where conflicting expectations arise within a single job. And person-role conflict, when your job requirements clash with personal values. Now, recognizing the type of conflict helps you identify the best approach to resolution. Well, now let's talk about strategies to manage conflict. Here are a few effective techniques. First, appealing to a shared goal. Redirect focus to common objectives that transcend individual differences. Secondly, expanding resources. If limited resources are the issue, look for ways to increase availability. Third, changing structure. Sometimes a simple tweak in team roles or workflows can reduce friction. And fourth, confronting and negotiating. Open communication and clear agreements often resolve conflicts constructively. Now, there are also 5 conflict management styles. 1, competing, taking a firm stance when quick decisions are critical. 2nd, collaborating, working together to find win-win solutions. 3rd, compromising, finding a middle ground to address moderately important goals. 4th, avoiding, stepping back when the issue isn't worth addressing. And lastly, accommodating, yielding when the relationship is more important than the issue. Here's a practical takeaway. If you tend to avoid conflict, try scheduling a calm discussion to address the issue before it escalates. If you're naturally competitive, pause to consider how long-term relationships might be affected. Well, now let's move on to negotiation, a critical skill in conflict resolution. There are 2 main approaches. First, distributive bargaining. It divides a fixed amount of resources. It's often a win-lose scenario. Think of haggling over the price of a car. Secondly, integrative negotiation. It focuses on collaboration to create win-win solutions. For example, during a salary negotiation, discussing flexible hours or professional development opportunities alongside pay can lead to mutual satisfaction. Preparation is the key to successful negotiation. Identify your goals, understand the other party's needs, and know where you can compromise. And remember, good communication is essential. Well, let's pause and reflect. Think about a recent conflict you were part of. Was it functional or dysfunctional? How could you have handled it differently? Secondly, which conflict management style do you naturally gravitate toward? When might another approach be more effective? And then finally, if you were negotiating a raise or project budget, how would you approach it? What would your priorities be? Reflecting on these questions can help you connect today's concepts to your real-world experiences. Well, in summary, conflict and negotiation are unavoidable, but they don't have to be negative. By understanding the nature of conflicts, it causes and effective management and negotiation strategies, you can challenge into opportunities. That is, you can turn challenges into opportunities for both growth and collaboration. Well, that said, I want to thank you for joining me in this episode of Unlocking Organizational Behavior. I encourage you to review your notes, reflect on today's discussion, and think about how you will apply these strategies in your career. This episode is based on content from Organizational Behavior by Nelson and Quick, published by Cengage, and developed with support from East Tennessee State University. Portions of this podcast were created with the assistance of AI tools, and special thanks to Audio Coffee for the music and effects. This is Dr. Obi Paul Byram, your host. Until next time, keep building bridges, resolving conflicts, and unlocking your potential.